Trading Warrior brothers and sisters. You know who I am. Who am I? Anyone know my name? I am so impressed by the group and the way people were positioned into the Fed yesterday. Alien long the pound, Ricardo long euro and pound, Goldie long euro on a flag. So many people came into the Fed bearish a dollar. What a great group that we have here. No one should have been long the dollar into what happened yesterday based upon the consensus of our community. I want to congratulate everybody for their great work, and I'm very glad for you that you had windfall profits yesterday, Larians. Congratulations from Coach Pinkert to you. And even Ricardo, with that dollar falling apart, survived the euro pound. And now it looks like the euro pound has peaked. So congratulations, Larians. Who's in the house? Ali, Tosin, Dion, hello, Sirik, Sinatra, Dion, Abel, how are you? Artem, JM, Ibby. So I want to congratulate Alien. I don't know if he's here. Probably doesn't want Hayapan. I don't know if he, yeah. Tosin. Alexandros, how are you? I do believe this is setting up something nice. Yeah, nice call. Nice call, Ali. You were spot on in the oil. I got out a little bit early, but made money long crude. New option. So this is what I want to show. So we had this explosion in gold yesterday with the dollar selling off. And remember I said that this could just be the second drive in gold. Everyone see this? And now we're headed up for the third drive in gold. It could come in next week around 1,300. I actually expect the S&Ps and the gold to top around the same time. So I think there's going to be a very good short in the gold up here, Tosin. Remember I talked about this still was only the second drive, and we could have three. Looks like that's setting up. You don't have to agree with me, but just give me a why that you see it. Here's one confirmed. Here's two non-confirmation. And I think even if we spike up towards this 1290, 1300 level, the RSI is going to put in a lower high, maybe under 70. So that could be a good one. High Midas, this could set up your buy and dust. Gold gets up here one more time. Dust did not do much on this decline. Now it's almost at new lows. So I'm thinking up here the next week, S&Ps and gold are short. Now, hello, Luca. Are any of the stars in here today from yesterday? I don't know if Goldie's here. Goldie made a nice call. He was calling this a flag, and we broke out over 1120 in euro yesterday. Right here, the flag breakout. And then Alien was buying the bottom and the pound down here with Ricardo. Rick was long before the breakout in the euro. So tremendous job of everybody. And Midas is looking to short the oil at 43. He went short what, the S&Ps? I remember he said St. Patty's Day. I'm drinking green coffee today. Everyone drinking green coffee, green beer, green orange juice. Because I'll tell you something, Lar doesn't need the luck of the Irish, because Lar has the skill of a warrior trader, of a ninja samurai. So we don't need the luck of the Irish, do we? How about an amen? Because we have the skill of warrior traders. Give me a why if you agree with me. There's my why. Hi, Carlos. Carlos has a look for us. You're drinking greenbacks. I like it. Drinking greenbacks. Yeah, and congratulations on that, Praise, if you're here. Getting back to the end, it could be a third drive here. We could have a rally in the end to set up the move in the S&Ps to 2040 to 2070. See this? So we took out the stops and it's trying to reverse. Maybe we get the bear market rally in the end now. You don't have to agree with me, but I see 1, 2, 3 here. And we took out all the sell stops. Anyone who bottom picked it and not getting much follow through. So I think the yen could rally. Not enough for me to want to get long, but that could generate the levels that we were looking for in the S&Ps for next week, Tosin. Sinatra's got something with his that correlates with a 43. I wish you would have told me 43 when I was long from 27, Midas. Anyway, I was long both oil and natural gas. I'm not going to bitch. I made money. There's always another trade, and I'll take my own words to heart. You can't expect perfection at the crap table. So there's a nice look from Sinatra. And then I have something from Carlos. So this is euro pound, right shoulder. And he's looking for 76. Thank you, Carlos. If you're in the house, thank you. So you're looking for the dollar to dig in its heels here, Tosin. And then Tosin is thanking FX Praise for his call on the yen on the breakdown out of that triangle. It's not showing up for me. There we go. So FX Praise called the breakdown, or said it could go either way, but you go with the breakout or breakdown. There was a breakdown. Another example of intelligence gathering. I would say that there was a pretty good chance, Tosin, that without looking at that chart of the yen, you would not have been short the yen if you hadn't seen Praise's chart. Therefore, the value of LAR is the collaborative aspect of having more than 2 eyes, but having 80 eyes, 100 eyes, sharing their views and what they see. Isn't that correct, Tosin? Okay, right. So you wouldn't have even been there. So therefore, the value of LAR, I know SW hasn't decided whether or not it adds value to his trading, but there's an example of how it adds value to our community's trading. Tosin wouldn't have even, he doesn't even trade the yen, and he made 170 pips based upon a view from FX Praise. If you think that's amazing, give me a why, because I think that was the mission behind this community, was to have a mastermind, and I believe we have one, manifesting. Hello, Alexandros. How are you? The beauty of LAR. All right. This is for you, Cyric. I know you've had a couple of right the market, wrong the trade. Happens to all of us. I want you to shake it off and remember that it ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. Ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. But I ain't scared because I still believe the call. Never said I was perfect. That would be a lie. Never said I was perfect, cause that would be a lie. Cause I can look you in the eye and I tell you it's a lie. Watch me fly. It ain't nothing but a drawdown or a margin call. Ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. But I ain't scared cause I still believe the call. Idea given to me by Midas 007. Hound Dog. That's Hound Dog, baby. Hound Dog. So it's going to be tough to top yesterday. So just remember that, Cyric. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ricardo, on having a good month yesterday. I know. I know it makes you cry. Jax. I don't know why that song would make you cry. One more drive down. So that would be a crude top, Canada bottom. What are you looking for? Yeah, he's crying again. I showed your Euro pound, Carlos. Good, man. You're cleaning up. Well, I'll tell you, since Goldie isn't here, who was long the Euro, and I don't see Alien either, I have to give the man award to Ricardo for the 10 millionth time. What can I say? I got to show it. I don't see Alien here. Tolson, you did well, I know. We have some new names in here. Benny, welcome Benny to LAR. Everyone welcome Benny and Raina. Everyone welcome Vinny and Raina. How about a LAR welcome for them? Welcome to the Lion's Den. Vinny. Anyway, Rick, for the 10 millionth time, you're the man. You're the man, Rick. You were so active yesterday and right on everything, including surviving Euro pound. Take a bow, Ricardo. So you don't get picked off if you don't use less leverage. You'll lose your head, your account, It will be dead. Use less leverage when you trade the market. Use wider stops so you don't get picked off. If you don't use less leverage, you'll lose your head, your account. It will be dead. Use less leverage. I know it makes you cry, buddy. Yeah. Way to go, Rick. Who else is in the house? Midas looking for a top in crude at 43. DZ's here. Russ T1 is back. Dion, Luca. Raina's new. BW's here. Fab, Roland, Ed ZFX. Flash is in the house. Abel, my good buddy, Mark S, JM, Vinny, Adinda, Fame, Artem, Grays, and Pan. Yeah, 75. Yeah. Pretty weird right shoulder. So that may be an indication of the dollar getting close to some type of support level short term. You know, most of this move. So if this is correct, your preferred short is going to be the euro, your preferred long is going to be the pound. If euro pound's going to head back to the neckline down towards 75. Give me why if you understand that. So your preferred long when euro pound's going up is the euro, and your preferred short's a pound. And then if it's going to head down, your preferred short is the euro and your preferred long is a pound, depending upon what you're looking for in the dollar. Thank you, Rick. Give me why if you understand how to use euro pound, even if you don't trade it, for trade selection between pound dollar and euro USD. Give me why if you get it. So even if you don't trade euro pound, you need to be aware of direction for trade selection. It's probably the most important pairing for trading dollar pairs. Okay. Yeah. Tip your hat. Yeah. People are making money on trades they don't even see. Others see it. Tosin, great example. Yeah, remember I thought we'd get a pullback in Aussie Kiwi. I think we should be looking to buy this pair. Aussie Kiwi's starting to enter that zone. We had divergence up here. And now on the daily, we're pulling back to major support, it looks like to me. Maybe back to 10.5. But it looks like we only have 2 drives here. Maybe it's going to hold here. But I think between 111 and 110, you have to get long Aussie Kiwi. $47.5, huh? Wow. I made all the tough money and now the easy money's coming. I don't know. We'll see. That's what makes the market. So I have a lot of confluence around 110, 111. I think this is a break to buy. I don't know if this is enough. Thank you, Tosin. $10.95, yeah. I concur. Thank you, Rick. I'm Skyping you something. Okay, Tosin. 111, Sirik? Yeah. 109.70? Yeah, so within 100 pip range, if you reduce your leverage, what you can do is you put a piece on at 111 and hope you're early, and then just try it on this trade. Reduce your leverage dramatically and probe the 111, and then hope you're early and it pulls back to 109.70, and then you put on another. Because I think the biggest thing that happens to me and happens to a lot of people is exactly what you've experienced this week. It's called being right the market, wrong the trade. Because you had that high diagnosed in Canada. I don't know if you're looking for this kind of collapse, but if you had used less leverage, your stop would have been wider and you would have survived it. You wouldn't have made as much money as you would have with a full position, but you would have made money. Capiche? Everyone in here, how many have experienced being right the market, wrong the trade? Right the market, wrong the trade. I think gold has another pop left in it. I think it's one of the biggest frustrations of trading is that you're right about the direction of the market, but you get picked off and then the market goes your way. So how do we overcome that? Rick, how do you overcome that? Rick knows how to overcome it. You overcome it by reducing leverage and piecing in. And piecing in. Well, there you go. That's right, wider stops. Yeah. So maybe you can adjust your trading styles a little bit, guys, especially when you have this kind of volatility, right? Make the adjustment. So I do that on stocks. You can't go fully leveraged and do it in FX, but if you reduce your leverage to maybe like 3 to 1, 3 to 1 instead of 10 to 1, right? Reduce your leverage to 3 to 1 instead of 10 to 1 or 40 to 1. Then you could do it in FX. Capiche? Okay. That's enough leverage. And then by the time you have a full position on, you've got plenty of leverage, right? So that's only one piece. By the time you have 3 pieces on, you have the leverage that initially you would put on with a 1 lot. And you're still there in the trade and not getting picked off. Just try it. Deion's trading. Okay. Good for you, buddy. Base hits. That's right. The home run hitters in baseball were also normally the biggest strikeout kings. So they may have hit a lot of home runs, but they struck out a lot. We can't afford, yeah, the homers will come when you're just trying to get on base. That's a pearl, Midas. Do they always? That's right, you're expecting perfection. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, Jax. Derek Jeter wasn't a big home run hitter. He got paid pretty good. And all the other Ironmans weren't big home run hitters, but they were on the field every day. Correct? Anyway, guys, Barry Bonds got paid more. All right. Well, he needed money for all his steroids. He needed that money for his steroids. You don't take steroids, do you, Jax? Yeah, I do that, Rick. I leave money on the table a lot. Do you do it mattered, its reputation's ruined. He ruined his rep. Just like Manny Sosa, Mark McGuire, they lost respect. Rodriguez, Hi Pipper. Anyone out there? All right, I surrender, Jax. It pays to do the wrong thing in this world. It pays to do the wrong thing. I'm sorry, I'm too idealistic. I'm too idealistic, Jax. I never thought I'd meet anyone more cynical than me. But I have, you. You're more jaded than Forex Stop Hunter. Yeah. That means it's time to make Jacks cry, right? If the market went quiet, I know, you're just realistic. Just realistic. If you want to be a star, show your charts in LAR. Say you drive a beater and you want a new car, should hang out with us in LAR. Rent an apartment but want a big house, you gotta hang with us before you click your mouse. So give me an L A R lar rar 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 lar. Lar. Love and respect, as Abel says. Love and, oh, okay, right back to business with Ricardo. Ricardo hates my singing too. He's nicer about it than Jax. He just, instead of saying it makes him cry, he just puts up a chart to shut me up. So Kiwi at major resistance, you know, this is kind of looking like an ascending triangle, Rick. If we get through here, we're going, buddy. If we break out here, we're going. Thank you, Ricardo. Looks like an ascending triangle to me. Alexandros. That probably wants the upper end of this. Thank you, Alex. Called the cloud. Looks like it could go to looks like it could go to Midas's objective up here at 43 next week. Now remember, WD Gann says look for reversals into the equinox. Equinox is Monday. So I'm looking for turns next week. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Rick. Carlos has another look. This is a euro pound. Same target as Ricardo. Thank you, Carlos. Yeah, Alexandros is great. Okay. All right, everyone, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'll be back with you guys in about 5 minutes. Congratulations, Larians. I'm impressed and proud to be called your coach. Proud to be called your coach. because you guys are doing a very good job on the field. And if anyone's having any difficulty in the market, proud of your persistence and your stick-to-itiveness and your belief that you don't lose till you quit. That's a warrior. Oh, you won a contest, Sinatra? Very congratulations. Oh, your payment from that, yeah, that thing you were at. Yeah, you need more than one revenue stream. Okay, everyone, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 5. We're going to be talking to an FXStreet favorite, Wayne McDonell at FX Boot Camp. He won an award. Not sure what the category is. Maybe Adinda could tell me what the category Wayne won is before I do the interview with him. And I'm going to take a quick break. Thank you, everyone, for your shares. Best speaker. Okay. Yeah, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. Yeah. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Sinatra. Looks like I'm having some problems here. Sorry. Time to sell oil, SW says. Okay. Okay. Best speaker. Okay. Everyone doing all right? Good luck, Tosin. Nice pipper. I'm sorry, Sinatra. It kept shutting down my computer, that trading view thing. Thank you, Rick and Sinatra. What's Ibby got? Ibby from Vegas. What's the pair? Pound Kiwi. Good luck. I want to thank Ibby for his look at the Pound Kiwi, rallying right back to resistance and some moving averages here. 50% retrace. Nice look there, Ibby. Thank you. Nice view, Ibby. take a look at this oil here. We have two drives here, both above 70. That's the oil. 4 hour diverge, nice. Nice divergence on the 4 hour crude chart. Confirmed high up here. Diverging at 70 up here. Everyone see that? So we have our first divergence on the 4 hour in the oil right here. Could get a pullback and then maybe a third. You don't have to agree with me, but give me a why that you see it. This is our first divergence all the way up in crude right here. Could get a pullback, a buck or so, and then rally again to Midas's targets, and then peak next week. Exactly how we have it cased out, Tosin, for next week. Remember, Monday the equinox, Wednesday the eclipse. I know Jax is going to make fun of me. Remember, Norm said that lunar eclipses are normally negative for the market, and the lunar eclipse is Wednesday. Go ahead, Jax. Call me a lunatic. I'm a lunatic. Give me a why, my trading for family, if it's okay for me to be a lunatic. I think it's perfectly fine. I know people laugh at it, but I've seen a lot of turning points on this stuff, or I wouldn't pay attention to it. I'm a lunatic. Call me a lunatic, man. You can love a lunatic. Eclipses are pretty important. Does he? No, but I've met Larry. I met Larry in Rancho Santa Fe many years ago. Never read his books. Carlos has some more looks here. Get a bounce in the yen. Is this the yen? Yeah. And then head down to 102. There's another look. Same thing. Thank you, Carlos. Everyone thank Carlos for his yen look. He's not looking. This is the weekly. Okay. Weekly and monthly. All right, so this is the weekly where we could still rally back to 116. And this is the monthly. Thank you, Carlos. Now let's case out the gold. Four hour did not we have to see what it looks like up here. Really? Okay. Yeah. What do you got, Tosin? Yeah. Where's that line coming? My computer's not working too good. Not letting me minimize. I'm frozen. I'm not going to be able to show screenshots. My computer keeps freezing on me. Thank you, Tosin. So where's that come in? What's the number on the SPX? What's your number? Can someone help Lowell out with this? Any E-waivers in here? Alien's an E-waiver. Let me look at it, Lowell. Where's the tool you're talking about? These bands look like bowling bands. Oh, this is it? So this is saying it's a wave 3. It labels the waves. I don't know. I can't help you. I'm a one-trick pony. Can anyone help Lowell with that? $20.37. I'm not sure how to tell you how to use it, buddy. Okay. We might see 2040 next week. Any waivers in here that want to help Lowell understand that indicator? I'm not an E-waiver, buddy. You know, you should go to Elliott Wave Forecasts and ask Eric or Dowd. Go to my website. Go to my website and ask these guys. They're some of the best E-waivers I know. You could even take a free trial. You could take a free trial there. Go to my website and you could take a free trial with Eric and Dowd. They're very good E-waivers. Modern day, new age E-waivers. Hardworking guys. Everyone doing okay? Just waiting for Wayne to show up here. Everyone doing okay? How are my trading warrior brothers and sisters doing today? Good? Everyone doing okay? So if you had windfalls yesterday, protect it. If you had windfall profits yesterday, protect those profits. You could even call it a week and wait for things to recycle and set up for next week. I think next week's going to be a very interesting one. So how are you today, Lowell and Dion and Pipper and Midas and Ibby and Russ and Raina and DZ? How are you doing? BW, Fab, how are you? Roland, hope you're enjoying being part of our community in LAR. Hope it's adding value to your trading experience at FXStreet. Same to you, Ed. SW, still not sure. Carlos, thank you for all your contributions. Jake, Gable, Flash, Cyric, Kerry, Marquez, JM, Jax, Khalid, how are you, buddy? Ricardo won the Man Award for the 10 millionth time. Luca, Vinny, welcome to our community. Adinda, how are you, Fame? I don't have my new chair yet. Artem, how are you? Master guitarist, the Grays, Ali, Pan. Europom, a lot of people saying this is significant. Sell rallies back to 875 if you get them. So this is the target I believe Rick and Carlos are looking for, is a pullback to the neckline of the head and shoulders breakout at 75.20 to 74.50. Yeah, Janet really chickened out, didn't she?
Well, the data was not too much here, so we're just gonna have to be very like doves. Has anyone ever heard the Prince song, "Where Doves Fly"? Well, we're gonna be a dove for a little while longer because we're afraid that there'll be a depression. And we are not going to negative interest rates. I don't think we will. So, but we're studying it. I don't know why we're studying it. If we don't think it's possible, maybe because we have too much time on our hands and we need more data. I love being data dependent. It's so much better than being codependent upon a person. And data dependency is my relationship with numbers and economic reports, and you can't get hurt, and you can change your mind all the time, which I like to do with our policy. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you like the lower dollar. That's what I want. We'll see what happens. But we can change our minds. But right now, let's be a dove for a while longer, and then if we can, when it's too late, after it's too late, I expect us to become hawkish after gold is $5,000 an ounce. Then the full employment situation might give us a hint of inflation. Once gold is $5,000, we'll probably have to raise rates. We'll probably have to raise rates maybe a quarter point in the next 10 years once gold makes new highs above the 2011 level.
Nice divergence here too. Look at that. There's some glaring divergence at the recent high. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Sinatra. I like your hat. If I wasn't married, I'd ask you out on a date, Sinatra, because you look a lot like Frank Sinatra. But I'm married, and we're committed to our marriage being data dependent. I would like to go out with you, Sinatra, so we could talk about the economy. Would you like to go on a date with me?
That's euro pound 1 hour. Euro pound 1 hour minus. It's going back to 75. Run Sinatra. Let's be a little dovish together. Good one, man. You don't want to be hawkish together, do you? This too from Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. Pound CAD. Pound CAD. Thank you, bro. I want to thank Carlos for his pound CAD here. $27.60 for Ricardo in Canada. I think I remember 28 being a big level. I think Picasso probably, pay attention to Ricardo Picasso. Oh yeah, previous high. Good eye, Rick. Thank you, Rick. I want to thank Rick for his look in USD CAD pointing towards that 28 previous resistance. That may set up support with the crude, possibly peaking. No, thanks, Rick. Yeah. Nice look, man. Okay, everyone waiting for Wayne, or maybe Wayne is waiting for me. Wayne does a live event for the NFP every month. Anyone ever attend his sessions? Anyone go to Wayne's sessions for the NFP? I know he does that live event. You go to him, Artem? Yeah, I think 114's in the cards, Dion. I agree with you. Actually, when you look at the Euro daily, here's the Euro daily. That back test line and the Euro comes in around 115. See this? Comes in around 115. So we got to clean out this high first. And once you see that, you don't have to agree with me, but that looks like where we're going. I think this line is going to be a magnet up around 115. You don't have to agree with me, but give me a Y if you see it. All I need for you to do is confirm that you see the possibility. And I think Wayne is now in the house. And he is. Hi, Wayne.
How are you, sir?
Very nice to meet you, Wayne. I don't think we've ever spoken before, have we?
No, we have not, but it is very nice to meet you.
Yeah, your reputation precedes you. I want to congratulate you on winning Best Speaker Award. I cried for about 2-3 weeks when I didn't get it. But you know, an award is recognition, and definitely people are impressed with your work and how you help people on FXStreet. Kudos to you. I'm interested. If I don't cover an NFP live event, I'd like to see you in action. So that's really one of the major things you do at FXStreet, isn't it? Your live NFP events?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, only for the last 10 years.
Okay. So I hope I find time to come in and check it out. And let me ask you this, Wayne. You're a veteran now, but you know everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And in my regular interviews, guests that I bring in, I always ask people about this. I go, get in a time machine and tell us about what it was like for you in the beginning stages of your career. Who led you into this business? Who do you blame? Did you have mentors yourself, or were you self-taught? And tell us about the beginning of your journey.
I was reading about Forex in some magazine, and they said it was $2 trillion a day.
Okay, big number.
I thought it was stupid. Like, how ridiculous! There isn't $2 million, in the whole world. So I looked into it, and sure enough, $2 trillion at the time in trading volume. And I was smart enough to go where the money is. That was it. I'm like, if there's $2 trillion a day there, that's where I want to be. So,
now most people before they got into FX, they had a trading itch, and they may have been in stocks or futures. You went right to Forex was your first foray into it, huh?
If if I have let's say if I had a following in Forex before Forex. I had a following in the Silicon Valley. I was an entrepreneur. I connected entrepreneurs with venture capitalists. I helped raise money. And I was analyzing business plans, and eventually I became a venture capitalist. And I never traded stock. I thought buying and selling stock on a stock market was stupid. A venture capitalist would invest when it was a penny and then go ahead in the stock market, do an IPO, and make $100 a share. I mean, so. My very first, jump into financial asset trading was Forex. I was never attracted to anything else ever. It was just, I loved the idea that it was money, it was cash, it was liquid, it was exciting, and again, $2 trillion a day.
Great hunch on it being the deepest market, because. You could total up all the bourses, stock exchanges in the world, and bond markets dwarf those, and FX markets dwarf bond markets. So great instincts about it being the deepest.
It was just, I honestly found it remarkable, because if I was looking at a business plan or reviewing a patent, if I flew an entrepreneur out and looked at his prototype, interviewed him, and then our research team would go through and analyze the market and what's the market potential, and and if someone came back said, you know, it was $100 million market, I'd say, wow, $100 million if we conquer, you know, 10% of an entire market. Well, 2 trillion a day was just, it just blew my mind. So I just looked into it. I started doing research. I started, I opened my first Forex account, and it didn't even have charts because people weren't trading on charts yet. But I was just enthralled. And then one day I realized that I was trying to be a venture capitalist. I was trying to be a Forex trader, and I wasn't doing very good at both at the same time. And I realized I had to make a decision. Do I stay in the firm, or do I quit and become a full-time Forex trader? And that was a nerve-wracking decision. I mean, it wasn't easy at all.
Because you gave up a potential stream of income for potential uncertainty or definite uncertainty.
Well, here's what they actually did. Like right when I was going to tell them I was going to leave the firm and become a trader, they promoted me to vice president.
Well, they made it tougher.
And Dale, the thing about it is I loved that job. I just absolutely loved it. I thought I was going to do that the rest of my life, and then I ran into Forex and it ruined everything. It was a disastrous thing. I mean, so I ended up picking Forex. It's crazy.
So you followed your heart instead of your head. Except it sounded like you also enjoyed being a venture capitalist. Tell us about the first year of that transition. Did you start off back then? People would paper trade because you didn't have demo accounts.
Yeah, I traded a demo account for 2 years.
Okay, so you traded demo, and 2 years before you knew you felt proficient enough. Tell us about what it was like transitioning from a demo to actually having money on the line. And was that when you found out that trading is like real estate is location, 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 trading is psychology, psychology, psychology?
The transition was shocking because I look at things very analytically. So I had looked at everything that I thought was going to be a risk to this business decision of me going solo and being a full-time Forex trader. So I did that, quit the firm, you know, started trading out of my home office. And at that time I lived in California, so my trading time was 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. was my day.
Wow. Okay.
So
I'm in San Diego, and I'm an early bird, you know, so I'm up at 3, 4 in the morning. Let me ask you this: when you made this life choice, were you married?
Yeah.
Okay. So that tells me something about what a great choice you made for a life partner. Was she hesitant or fully supportive of the decision that you made?
Fully supportive.
Wow, you are a blessed man.
With this, I mean, I don't know. I guess she had seen that I'd been working very, very, very hard as a trader. So I was waking up, you know, at 4 in the morning trading, and then putting on a suit, jumping in a car, and commuting to work, right? And then I'd have a laptop on my desk all day, and then I would get home and, you know, and immediately go back to trading. And so she saw it was pretty serious. She probably should have freaked out, but you know, she has my back.
Most would have. You know, I remember when I was a broker, Wayne, and I would be soliciting somebody, and they would say, well, I have to talk to my wife about it. I knew that he wasn't a viable, or he wasn't a viable prospect, because most wives would rather be spending that money than watching their husband gamble and speculate in the market.
Yeah, you know, and she's a conservative person. She balances me, like, you know, there's no way I could have done it without her.
Now I know why you're good.
And she came from a financial background where she worked on a team managing hundreds of millions of dollars for wealthy people. So she kind of got that, and
so she got it.
You know, yeah, and she, you know, I probably ran into Forex because of her.
You're going to want to show this video to your wife. She'll like it. You know, giving her the thumbs up, because it is the exception to the rule. Let me switch gears and tell us about. I see you know, you have a spaceship behind you, buddy. I don't know if you're, going to rescue Matt Damon on Mars with all the. It's about your technical journey and, how you started off. Maybe you read some books, people influenced you. A lot of people went to E-Wave. A lot of people are classical technicians. Tell us a little bit about your technical journey.
I started so long ago that any sort of material out there I found was written by like scumbags and scam artists and get-rich-quick schemes, and I very quickly just stopped reading it and sat down and for blood, sweat, and tears for years tried to figure it out. And I had a very long journey. Like I said, I traded a demo for a couple of years. And because of that, I am very technical. I've since become extremely fundamental as well. But as a technician, I am self-taught, and therefore some things I do a little quirky because I just simply looked at what was happening over and over and over in the market and became sort of experienced with that. And I don't seem to do anything too fancy. To me, it comes down to support and resistance, some price action. I really like pivot points. I use some moving averages just to get an idea of the direction the market's moving. And that's it. It's not overly complicated. But, the secret to success is being extremely conservative and extremely disciplined and focused on, being on survival more than getting rich quick.
Yeah, I remember my Bible. I took a course at the Merck CME in Chicago when I was a runner on the floor. Yeah. And they were trading currencies on a chalkboard. So I'm a little bit older than you, a lot grayer than you.
Oh, really?
And the textbook that was my Bible was called Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by Edwards and McGee. So I learned about reversal formations and continuations and gaps, etc. Yeah. But pretty much, I think you have to be self-taught because I've interviewed Jack Schwager, who wrote Market Wizards.
Yeah.
And his main point is that people have to find a trading style that suits their personality.
And
so you only know how to do that.
So Jack is really famous for the Market Wizards stuff. But his career before he was writing Market Wizards, before he was, a famous author of how other people became successful, the reason he knows all those people is he was analyzing CTAs for various funds or banks or whatever the financial institution was. But he would go through and he would crunch the numbers. He would look at the trade history of various commodity trading advisors and then make recommendations of whether that firm should invest or not. And he wrote a book on that, which I think is fantastic for all traders that are thinking about becoming professionals one day, or maybe starting their own fund or managing other people's money. And so Jack Schwager's book, I have it somewhere in the office, but it's really going how understanding things like risk-adjusted performance analysis, and it reviews what kind of trading history you should be trying to get. Because if you went to an investor and said, I make 40% a month returns, people would laugh at you and never invest. So you really kind of need to know that side of the industry if you want to become a professional. And his book, I think, is fantastic. It's even more of a learning experience than his Market Wizard stuff, which are also fantastic.
That's a great suggestion. So my experience when I was raising money for CTAs, most people look at their gains and their returns on equity. Okay, for me, what was most important was what was their worst drawdown.
Yeah, or a gain ratio if you can get that.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, say for example, in the last 10 years, what was your worst drawdown?
There are lots of different terms. Yeah, so I trade many different accounts and for different people in different situations, but let me answer it a different way. Right?
You can answer it anyway. It's my show, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, but it's one of these things like, you should do as you're told. But someone, because I do get these questions all the time in a similar fashion from, let's say, a retail trader will say, what kind of returns should I be getting now? What should I be focused on? What should I be achieving as a new trader? And these are really interesting conversations when you go there, because it comes down to reward is a function of risk, and in most situations, risk is bad, right? And a lot of new traders, they come to the market and they want to make, let's say, a certain number. They need to make $5,000 a month or something, and they focus on hitting that target.
That's a bad word. Need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a key word. If you need to make something, I think it'll be elusive. If if you don't need to, I think that's when you're going to be successful. And that's why I tell people that want to quit their day job and become a full-time trader, that even guys like Rich Dennis, who was a legend, taught the Turtles, had C&D Commodities where he was making millions a year clearing trades for Board of Trade floor traders. So need is a key word. What do you tell them when they say they need to make a certain amount?
Well, what you end up needing to do to make it, digestible, if you will, is you start reverse engineering things and say, well, how much is in your trade account? And then, what's your winning percentage? What are your average winners? What are your average losers? How many times are you trading per day? And then you find out that the only way to achieve that goal is to increase leverage. And right then and there, you're dead in the water. And that's the whole point. And so I'll tell people, like, look, continue working on your Forex trading, but maybe trade on a demo account for a couple of years, take a second job and save money. If it's important to you, just think about it like going to grad school and working a part-time job. Don't worry about it. You're going to grad school. You're on your way to something successful. Save your money, gain the skills, become a disciplined trader, and then trade when you're properly capitalized. Because then you can keep the lot size low and still, grow your trade account and pay whatever you need to live on.
Yeah, that's a pearl. That's a pearl, Wayne. And I think a lot of trouble that people have, I've had, everyone has that trades, is being right the market, wrong the trade. And that's mainly because of too much leverage. Their stops are too tight. They get picked off. And they're right about the market but wrong about the trade. How do you teach people to overcome that?
That's an interesting one, because what you're doing is you have to qualify the trader's skill. And in the beginning, when they say, "Hey, Wayne, I'm losing money. I'm not as successful as a trader. Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you doing wrong?" And half the time, they don't even know what they're doing wrong because they've never actually really looked at it, right? So, like you said,
did you journal? Did you journal, Wayne, so that you could see hard evidence of what you were doing right and wrong? And
yes.
Okay.
I don't journal now, but in the beginning, for many years, I was a hardcore journaler. And I don't think you can become a successful trader if you don't journal that, because you don't know the simple thing like, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and more importantly, what are you working on this week to improve? You have to be very cognizant about it. Like, this week I will improve on managing my stops. And then you focus on that this week, and eventually, if that's your weakness, over time it will become a strength, and then you start working on something else. But if you don't know your strengths and weaknesses, what will happen is the thing you're getting lucky on now will disappear, and then if ADX didn't work for you, now you'll try MACD, and if MACD didn't work for you, maybe you'll try CCI. And if that didn't work, well, maybe Elliott Wave, and all of a sudden you're just going around and around and around. You have no consistency and you have no control. So I don't understand how you could find success. So you need to start with that journal and then refine and improve and analyze and tweak and adjust over, a long period of time. You'll become more skilled because you know what you're doing and you have intent when you're doing it. But if you're always just changing your strategy, you'll never have consistency.
Yeah, the endless search for the Holy Grail, right? And I'm getting an echo. I don't know why. Maybe someone has the volume on in the bar room. But I'd also like to ask you if you think it's important. I'm a big believer in that people have to change their paradigms. I have to change mine. What you say about yourself, and your last statement is "I will," is an affirmation, because you're putting it a goal, and you're saying good things about yourself and about what your goals are.
Yes.
So to me, affirmations and changing a paradigm. A lot of people come in. I hate the term newbie.
Yeah.
Okay. It's to me, it's kind of condescending. It's kind of like, I'm just a joke. And to discourage people from calling themselves a newbie to possibly calling themselves a trader in training, something like that, rather than a newbie. Are you a believer in, what a man thinketh he becomes?
Yes, as long as you follow it up with action. So there's more to it than just pure positive affirmations.
Yes.
If you follow it up with action, I will improve as a trader, therefore I am going to focus on this week, and then I'll focus on that next week, and you follow that up, versus just saying, I deserve it, I'm a nice person, I should be profitable. There's more to it than that, but if you say, look, I will find success here, I know it, I believe I can become a successful trader, I'm going to do the things that are required to be a successful trader. I'm going to start lining these up.
Discipline.
And then you get then you grow confident out of that, because you start working towards something. So like when I became a full-time trader and I left the firm with 300 employees, and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm trading all by myself in my home office, I went through almost a depression in that transition, because I never recognized how lonely it was going to be full-time. And so one of the things I did right away is I said, well, when I was an entrepreneur, I was successful because I always had a business plan. So I decided to go on a business planning retreat with myself. Two days at the Ritz-Carlton. I brought an agenda and emailed it to myself and stuff. And I went through this.
Why not the comfort in?
What's
Why
that?
not the comfort in?
Yeah. It has a nice view. So anyways, I went through a 2-day planning retreat with myself, and I created a business plan with a mission, objective, key result areas, broke it down in timelines, and I spent the bulk of that, once I had a business plan down, I spent time doing a 2-year pro forma cash flow statement for my projected earnings from this trading plan that I had. And then from that, I started to understand things like how compound interest of even small conservative wins over the course of several years will really add up a lot. It taught me to lower my leverage, and I realized instead of just sitting down trying to make as much money as I possibly could, which is kind of the point of trading, it turned into more of easily achievable goals, either a daily goal or a weekly goal. And those goals didn't need big trades, they didn't need big wins, they didn't need big leverage. As long as I met these minimal acceptable goals over a period of time, like months, and then at the end of the year, and at the end of the second year, the financial reward was actually more than enough. And it allowed me to tweak down my leverage and trade smaller lot sizes and feel comfortable that I didn't need to be a hero today. Therefore, I never had to take a big risk today. I just need to sit down and do my job. And if the day was boring, I'd make a little bit of money. And if it was a bad day, I'd lose a little bit. But it didn't matter on the long term.
Yeah.
Based on my cash flow statement analysis, as long as I achieved the goals on average, I'd be fine at the end of the year. And it changed everything for me.
Yeah, you took all that pressure off yourself to try and swing for the fences.
I'm telling you,
do the right thing.
Do
the right thing today, and tomorrow takes care of itself, right, buddy?
And I didn't have to. I never had to load the boat. Never had to load the boat where I felt the pressure I had to win big today. And if I had a bad streak, it didn't matter. I'd make it back on the long run. I wouldn't, like, let's say if today was a bad trading day, well, if the loss is contained at the end of the year, I won't remember today, and I certainly won't remember today in 3 years. It happened. But if it was a bad trading day, on the long term, it just was never that big of a deal. But
It's just
over
another day.
the little wins add up on the long term, and that's fine. But you said the relief. Oh, it was a huge weight off my shoulder, and things changed. Right around then, things changed.
Do you describe yourself as a position swing or day trader, or do you do all of them?
Right now, I describe myself in a couple of ways. One, I love global macroeconomics and fundamental analysis, but that's a strategy thing. Okay, and then I do like to build. I like to build portfolios, if you will, where I hold some trades, like a basket of trades that I build over the course of 3 or 4 or 5 months, and hold them for as long as I can. And then when the trends really kick in, there's reward there. But you can go through a period of 2 or 3 months where that's not really making that much money and that kind of thing. And you get a lot of break-even trades, and so you can't live on that alone. So I also like technical analysis, and I like trading. So I'll do things like I'll scalp. So I've probably made 3 or 4 scalps today. I like spot trading, which to me is like a trade that lasts a couple hours, maybe based on a 15-minute chart. And that's like trading the New York Open, let's say, or I love, obviously because of NFP, I love trading the news. So yesterday's Fed news, I think I was long 15 to 20 pound dollar positions that just
before the Fed, the Fed, or after the Fed?
After. And they were more like swings. I was in those for, I don't know, 5 hours or something like that. And so what I'm getting to is I think a healthy trading account is one that has a mixture of strategies. It's a multi-strategy performance that I think is good, because what will happen is indirectly you end up hedging your long-term positions that might not be performing well today because the long-term trend is consolidating. But today, maybe on a 15-minute or an hourly chart, or maybe because of some news, you're making some income-type trades. I kind of call it like shooting at rabbits. You got to eat today, right? So you're making income-type trades that last 5 minutes to 5 hours. They're 20 to 50 pip winners. Okay, they're fine, but you'll never get filthy, stinking rich with just 50 pip winners. You also need like the position trades, the carry trades, the portfolio trades, and the shorter term trades will offset any shorter term losses on the longer term positions. And then when you hit a trend that takes off, let's say we found bottom on the yens and the yen pairs start heading up for the rest of the year, all of a sudden that's going to make the bulk of wealth. So there's your wealth positions versus income positions, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'd be interested in getting your macro view of some of these longer-term position trades with central bankers not getting the effects that they're looking for, the BOJ, the Fed. They were omnipotent last year, and now it looks like the emperor has no clothes. Wondering what your thoughts are with the worst start in stock market history in January, and we've retraced, well over 61.8. What are your basket themes for 2016?
Well, one of the things I've been looking for over the last actually maybe 12 months was a return to strength for the pound, even though it hasn't really happened until very, very recently, just the last 24 hours. But I've been expecting that in the first quarter of 2016. So it was something I was talking about even almost a year ago. And so things like an improving GDP, I'm hoping to see in the first quarter, and we're starting to see signs of that. I need to see an improvement in the World Economic Outlook for the UK economy, written by the IMF, which is coming in a few weeks. Obviously, a year ago, I wasn't thinking about Brexit and the UK leaving the EU. I mean, there's a risk that kind of popped in. But other than that, if you're looking at what Carney is saying at the Bank of England, they're saying, look, things are not that bad. Yes, the inflation numbers are low, but that's due to oil prices coming down. If you don't factor that out, there's inflation there, and some of these things are starting to come back. If you look at the adjustments to the UK budget that Osborne put out there yesterday, cutting things like corporate taxes, cutting things like capital gains taxes, and they're doing some pretty interesting things there that should improve GDP over the next 6 months. So that's one thing, that the pound has been very, very weak for a very long time. And for the last 6 months to a year, I've been waiting for this first quarter to come in and for the data to improve. And I'm doing things like that, like I understand how you calculate GDP, so I'm anticipating what the fundamental indicators will say in the future, and then reverse engineering what GDP will be, you know. And if that's right, then there will be an improvement, right? So, you know, so that the signs of that being maybe correct are starting to appear, and so now I could start slowly walking into pound trades that I may not ever exit. I might be in them for 3 years, or at least till the end of the year, right? You have to tiptoe into these. Move your stop to break even, and then look for another dip, and get in that trade, move your stop to break even, and do it 20 times, do it 30 times over the course of the next 6 months. Probably half or more of them will get knocked out at break even, but some of them will stick. And then if it's true, the rest of the world starts to believe in the British, you know, the UK will raise interest rates, let's say in let's say March or June of next year. If I'm already in trades that are at break even, then that's going to do very, very well, because that'll be a new trend, and I'm slowly tiptoeing into the trend as it's being born. Not way out.
That's interesting. So right because I used to believe that the UK led the US. I'd follow the FTSE, and the FTSE was my tell for what was going to happen in the US. But that seems to have changed, because the Fed was the first one to raise rates, and the UK is following rather than leading.
Right, and in the last 24 hours too, the Fed basically gave us 2 cuts. That's really what they did yesterday. They said they were going to raise 4 times. Now it's only 2. So they basically cut interest rates, if you want to look at it that way, future interest rates. They cut them. So, you know, they're backpedaling a little bit. But meanwhile, yesterday and today, when you look at the UK data, with the central banks doing what the government's doing, they're giving really hawkish outlooks. I mean, they're really doing the right things to increasing GDP. Right, like GDP being government spending, business spending, consumer spending, exports minus imports. All those things that they're addressing right now will increase GDP, or at least should. So they're doing some right things to say, you know, we're going to start raising interest rates too, and that's a new trend, right? And meanwhile, the Fed's saying, well, we're going to cut 2 interest rate hikes out of our guidance. So all of a sudden, you know, in that situation, fundamentally, you're going to see money move from New York to London.
Okay, what a great interview, Wayne.
In the last 24 hours, at least, yeah.
Yeah, what a great interview. I'm so glad I finally had a chance to talk to you, and I can tell you have elite analysis. I love your big picture stuff and your trading journey and your story, and being blessed by 1 + 1 = 11. That's you and your wife. Yes. And FX Boot Camp. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and what you do there? And do people have to run miles a day before they sit down at their charts and do about 100 push-ups?
Yeah. I ran FX Boot Camp for, I don't know, probably close to 10 years as an educational firm. And the reason I started it is back when I did move to my home office, one of the things I realized in my business planning retreat with myself was I'm completely alone and I'm isolated. And back before, when I was successful doing startup stuff, it had to do with being surrounded with other, successful, like-minded people. I built teams. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to build a team. I didn't know what else to do but show people what I do. I'm like, I'll just trade in front of people. And I found webinar software. People weren't even using webinar software for this yet. So I'm like, I'll just show people what I'll do, and they'll hang out with me, And that's what I did for 10 years, just so I wouldn't be alone. And then I taught people, and they became successful, and then I hired them as coaches, and it got really big, and went to all these conferences and stuff. And so I don't actually do that anymore. I work at tradersway.com, and it's a broker, and we do webinars very similar to what I did at FX Bootcamp, but we do that
Okay.
for clients every single day. So it's, I host a live room for clients.
Okay. When I was a young guy with a huge ego, the only reason I wanted to know what other people were thinking was so I could fade them. But what I've learned with some maturity is that we can learn from everybody, and therefore the purpose of the live analysis room, it's collaborative, it's a mastermind, and we only have two eyes, right, Wayne? So if you have other trained eyes, you can't cover everything yourself, and I've actually become a more effective trader, being, like you said, in a crowd of contemporaries or even people that are better than me. So I'm a big believer in that team community spirit.
Well, and if you're the leader, what it does is it forces you to be on your A game every single day, and you can never really let your guard down. You have to be 110% every day, and that helps me as a trader for sure, because I can never relax. I can't take a day off. I haven't taken a day off in like 5 or 6 years because I can't. I can't let my team down. So
the only time I took off was for a surgery.
Yeah,
that was my vacation. It was a surgery.
And that is an acceptable excuse. And one time I was in India for a trip, and I came back, and I had deli belly, and my stomach's just groaning and growling, and I couldn't even sit up in my chair because I was so weak from being sick for so much. So I laid on the floor with my mouse on the floor, my headset on, and coached as I traded.
Wow.
But I couldn't sit up in the chair, so I'm just laying on the floor with my mouse and got through it. And it was great.
Buddy. Wayne, what a great interview, and congratulations again on winning the award. There's no doubt in my mind that it's well deserved after speaking to you for half an hour today, partner. I'd like to be able to call you my trading warrior brother from now on. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you so much, Wayne. Good hunting. And perhaps and you could talk about Trader's Way on a regular guest interview now that we know each other, and we could take some technical looks at what you do down the road.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Wayne. Have a great weekend, buddy. Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Okay, everybody. That winner of Best Speaker Award, FXStreet. His Twitter handle is, you still have the same Twitter handle at FX Bootcamp, correct?
Yeah, that's fine. You can get a hold of me there.
All right, Wayne. Thank you very much, man.
Cheers.
Everyone enjoy, Wayne? I did. What do you think, community? There's the pro. There's the pro. What do you think? Now I know why you won. So I could usually tell after interviewing someone whether they're real or not. Yeah. So there you go. Addenda, is there another webinar following me up here today? Yes, Midas, I'm the Larry King of the FX world. Larry King. Larry King Pinkard. So I want to congratulate everyone again on their great performance. I will now be focusing on the pound along with Wayne. James Corden. No webinars. Okay, who's James Corden? So I don't know. I thought we were going to have one more shot down in the pound. I tell you what, after listening to Wayne, if we get this, he's not with them anymore. Boot. B-O-O-T. At FX Bootcamp. So if the dollar could rally one more time and they take the pound down here. Oh, okay. James Corden. All right. I'm going to end up on RT. What's RT? Who knows where I'm going to end up? We're all going to end up where we're supposed to end up. We're all where we're supposed to be. Who's RT? What's RT, Sinatra? So we have the S&Ps rounding up as we thought they could do. S&Ps at 2029. Dollar's still under pressure. Yen's trying to hold. Crude's still marching towards Midas's target. Gold, I'm still looking for 1290. Euro Aussie had a little pullback. Everyone doing okay? My trading warrior brothers and sisters. $91.5. Yeah, Anthony, that page wasn't shown. Cyric. This is Cyric's look at the Dixie. There's Cyric hiding from his doggy. What a cute little doggy you have, Cyric. Peekaboo. I see you, doggy. Peekaboo, doggy. Ruff, 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 Cyric. How come you don't have your tuxedo on today, Cyric? Go put your tuxedo on. Okay, that's that. Bear market history and what? Okay. 91.5. I think you're right. I think you're right on that, Cyric. Everyone thinks Cyric, he's got a couple of targets, 93, 30, and 91.50 in the dollar. It's going to take the euro up to about 123, I believe. Something we talked about a few weeks ago. And here's Rick's. This is the crude. So we're either going to 50 or back down. We're at the crossroads right here. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Cyric. Thank you, Sinatra. Thank you, Lord. Okay, Dion. 2,200. I could see that. Okay, see you, Midas. Peter Goodburn had 2235. Eric Morera has 2205. So that 2200 I've heard quite a bit. I concur that we could go there. But after 2200, Peter Goodburn's only looking for 1690 from there. 1690. Oh, the planet Nibiru? Or we'll get hit by an asteroid? Huh? Or World War III? All right. But 2230 first. 2230 first. Oh yeah, he's coming too. Yeah. I'm gonna go out and buy. I'm gonna go buy a 12-pack or a new K and I. A Nuna K. Anyway, everyone, I think it's time to wrap it up. Here's a couple of things I'm laying for. Next week, of course, I'm looking for some type of short to at least correct this recent rally from 1810 in the S&Ps. I'll be interested in potential short positions in the gold up here sometime next week up towards 1300. Still believe there's a chance that the crude might top out next week as well. We're starting to get some divergences here on the 4-hour. And targets in euro, still think that that backtest line is manifest destiny up here around 115. And we'll wrap it with Rick's look at the USD NOK. Looks like a breakdown to me, Ricardo. Head and shoulders. So this is bearish the dollar. Thank you, buddy. Everyone thank Rick for this look on USD NOK. I've never traded it. I want to thank everyone individually for another great session in LAR before I say goodbye. Thank you, Rick. So congratulations to everyone who caught the collapsing dollar in the last few days. Rick, Alien was too humble to even show up today. I want to thank Cyric, my trading warrior brother, and Dion, and Forex Pipper, and Ricardo, Stuart Abel, Midas, Lowell, Ibby, Anthony Romero, welcome to LAR, Rusty One, Reina, DZ, BW, Fab, Roland, Ed Z, Mauricio, Carlos, thank you for your charts today. Tosin, thank you for your great work. Flash, always good to see your handle. Carrie, Marcus, JM, FX John. Sorry, John, I haven't had time with the markets and everything else to get around to using your lyrics on that Sting song. I hope to get around to it. Adinda, thank you. FX Video, Artem, The Grays, Miles Fabian, welcome to our community. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Ali, thank you. Pan, thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And remember, if you're having a little trouble in the markets right now because they're a little bit wild, use less leverage, use wider stops. And if you've taken a couple of losses, don't worry about it because it ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. It ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. But I ain't scared because I still believe the call. Never said I was perfect. That would be a lie. Never said I was perfect. That would be a lie. But I'm more right than wrong, and I can look you in the eye, watch me fly. It ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. It ain't nothing but a drawdown and a margin call. But I ain't scared 'cause I still believe the call. See you guys tomorrow. We'll wrap it up. TGIF tomorrow. Good hunting. Adios. Arrivederci. Inshallah. Shalom. L'chaim. See everyone tomorrow.